Good afternoon, this is Sarah, your healthy carnivore in the UK. This video is going to be entitled, on day 76, this video is entitled, Can We Stop Secret Eating? I don't even know why I'm smiling at that, because secret eating, as you know, if you've ever done secret eating, is actually a really painful subject. So if you've come here because you are a secret eater, this video is how I believe that not eating those foods we love in its entirety can put an end to secret eating. Let me explain. I'm going to pop a link underneath this video to an amazing video by the carnivore doctor, Lisa Wiedemann, who does talk about her carnivore journey and how we stay out of the carb ditch. And she also sometimes touches on her previous life before she found carnivore and and how she was a secret eater and how she was ashamed of being a secret eater and what a destructive path it is and how it ends up being really not fun at all. You think that you're going to enjoy those moments of binging on those foods, but in reality, 9 times out of 10, you are not enjoying it at all. You're feeling ashamed, angry, and then you end up feeling angry at the people that won't go away because you want to. I've seen this story, I've heard this story so many times, I'm not alone. But in this video, about a third of the way through, in this one in the description, she talks about how painful it was to be a secret eater and how she can still remember what it's like to be someone that goes and eats in secret because you're just so ashamed about your eating habits. I am not that far away from that secret eating life. It's not that long ago for me. It's 77 days ago, I was in a life of eating secretly. Why did I do it? It's because people around me quite often thought I was that carnivore person. So if I did want to go and eat something, I would then have to eat it in secret. But then the people I live with or the people I work with sneak up on me or don't go away or don't leave. And then I'm like, oh no, I've got to hide this food. This is actually... Yeah, I am going to talk about other things after this. I am going to do some more carnivore mumblings after this. So I'm going to keep this as short as possible because it's depressing, I think. But I think other people can relate to this, I'm sure. I'm sure. If you've come to this channel and you've never done the carnivore diet, I would suggest 30 days of knocking everything that you eat in secret on the head and eating just fatty meat, salt and water for 30 days and see if that urge to comfort eat on the highly palatable, hyper-processed, we all know what we're talking about here. I don't need to list those things, but generally those foods are going to be filled with unhealthy fats like seed oils, high fructose corn syrup, and other kinds of sugars. Sugar's got about 300 different names these days, so it's probably in there. Refined carbs, flours, and then combined with some, depending on the item you're thinking of, it's probably got those things in there. And they know how to get us. These processed food companies, they know how to get us. They hire people. They literally hire people to look for what's called that bliss point. And if you've been in the carnivore community for any length of time, you'd have heard someone talk about that bliss point. They know how to addict you. They know how to make you want those things on repeat. Those foods generally, though, are not satisfying either. So even if they weren't even that addictive, you're still going to go back for more because your body's still going, okay, now let's go and find some proper food. Can we go and find some proper food, please? But I have been in moments where I've been really angry at my family. Why? Because they were there. They were in the house. I had something hidden in the back of a cupboard somewhere that was specially for me, my treat. And where are the family? Right there, watching. They're just there, and I'm thinking, oh, I won't use the exact expression that was going on in my head because I don't like to use really bad language on this channel because I don't want to upset too many people that don't like bad language. But I would be like, could you off, please? In my head, of course, so I can secretly eat those foods I've got hidden. Yes, that was me. And that was Lisa Wiedemann. And that was lots and lots of people. And I should imagine that there are millions and millions of us in this secret eating club. Not only were we brought up to be in the clean plate club, we were also ended up putting ourselves in the secret eating club out of being ashamed, embarrassed, drawn to those foods and knowing that other people would be disgusted in us, and then we end up eating them in secret. And then I'd be at work and supposedly on the wagon, and then I'd fallen off the wagon, but I didn't want everyone to know because I was so embarrassed that I'd then have to go and buy something from the shop and then hide it under the seat in my car. And if someone came out and looked at me in the car park, I'd quickly hide it and scribble it away. Yes, I'm on the wagon. I'm now off the wagon, but I don't want you to know. I don't want you to know that I've now fallen off the train because it's embarrassing. And I don't want people to say, oh, I thought you were just eating meat. Oh. Is this familiar to anyone? Can anyone relate? Is anyone nodding, or has everyone just left? Because this is confession time, isn't it? And it was the video from Lisa Wiedemann that just, when I first heard her say it, it actually did put a big lump in my throat and made me feel really emotional, because I thought, I can relate to this. I can relate to this. Let's cheer things up a little bit. Let's cheer things up a little bit, shall we? Oh, need some light relief. Oh, that's better. Oh, I feel better now. I've got my glasses on. These are my Rudolph ones, ready for Christmas. What do you think? Do you like these? Special ones. Now we're happy now. Happy, happy, happy. Oh, but that was hard to say. That was a hard thing to say. And when I was off the carnivore wagon, I could not say that. I could not say that. When I was the imperfect carnivore, I couldn't tell you about that. Because I'd have stretches of being so fantastically good and then crash, carb ditch, secret eating, hating everyone. And then you hate everyone even more because you've now got brain fog and now it's everyone else's fault that you're eating this way. Sound familiar? Oh. That's it. That's the secret eating discussed. How to fix it. The video is supposed to be about how to fix it. So I've now discussed how, if you can relate to that. Can you relate? If you've got this far and you still don't know how to fix it, I'm going to tell you, I probably should have actually got to this point a bit sooner. My recommendation to you, if you are a secret eater of all the hyper-processed foods and you want that behavior to stop, you're going to do what Lisa Wiedemann suggests that we do. It's doing the hard things. It's doing the things other people don't want to do. It's doing the things that other people can't do that's going to get you out of that behavior. If a secret eater like me can get to 76 days, then I think most people could probably give it a go. I'm not going to say everyone can do it because that's a bit judgmental. But I think if I can give it a go, getting to 76 days, I think everyone can give it a go, getting to 76 days. I am now just reached the point where I'm just can't imagine taking repeated trips to the shop to buy things, taking repeated trips back to my son's little treat cupboard. Oh, what's he got in there? Nothing really good. It's not really going to hit the spot, but I don't care in this moment because I'm angry. So I'm just going to eat that. And let's pick the thing he likes the least so he doesn't notice it's gone. Secret pinching things out of his cupboard. How do we stop it? My recommendation to you is a 1 day at a time carnivore diet, starting with 30 days. Say, I am not going to worry about day 31 or day 41. I'm only thinking about 30 days. Strict, absolute strict. No seed oils, no dairy, no sweet taste of any kind, no refined carbs, no fruits, no veggies. Sorry, Saladino, but no honey. No. Saladino and his honey. I think if you're living in the tropical climate that he lives in and you're doing as much exercise he does, maybe you can get away with it. But I'm in the UK where we're about to go into winter and the weather here is dreary, dreary. We are not designed to eat tropical fruits and honey in the UK. We are just not. Challenge me on that. We're just not. My recommendation is getting away from secret eating. Go clean, fatty meat. I cannot even begin to describe to you how I feel today on day 76. It's amazing what's happening to me. I can't believe it. It's incredible. Somebody's hidden all my hats. I can't even go and put a hat on now. And my trumpets have gone missing as well. I think my car was used this morning for the football training session, and all of my stuff is scattered around the car. They've probably just thrown it behind them. They won't let me secretly eat, and they hide my trumpets. Yep, carnivore diet is, in my opinion, the only way to fix the destructive and upsetting and embarrassing and humiliating art of the secret eating, in my humble opinion. And the last time I checked, we're allowed to have opinions, right? So that's my bit on secret eating. I can relate to it. I think I know how to fix it. And I think everyone should have a go at fixing it. My 90 days is really not far away now, is it? It's really not far away. My 100 days is just not far away. And I have zero intention. I've got no intention to go back. So that's the end of my secret eating talk. So if you're here just for that, now I'm going to do a little bit more waffling, because I know that some people like to think of my thoughts. Think of my thoughts? What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. I don't know how I'm so late to the party on this, but apparently you probably already heard of this, but I only heard about it today. Back in July, there was a bit of a hoo-ha because a UK bank, NatWest, created an app for smartphones. Smart, yeah, it's not very fart. Not very fart. Apologies. It's not very smart owning a smartphone. I do, I know, but it's the only smart thing I will have. I don't do the phones and the devices and the meters in the house, and I will avoid smart things. But I know I've got used to my phone. Embarrassed about that. But there's an app. NatWest have brought out an app that chastises people for buying meat. Yep. We've been warned about this. The right-wing conspiracy theorist domestic terrorists have been warning us about things like this, haven't they? And when we talk about it to our friends and family and work colleagues, they laugh at us, don't they? That's not going to happen. They're not going to do that. But apparently, if NatWest app works out that the money you've just been spending is on meat, I think they're obviously collaborating with the supermarkets on this, because if you've just bought 50 steaks from a well-known UK supermarket, how does the bank know that that is what you've bought? Big Brother is on our case over this meat, and we need to fight back. But until we've got the big numbers, we can't really fight back very effectively. But I think one of our neighbours has a new boyfriend. Fun. Okay. Side note, carrying on. You get a little message coming up on your app saying, that surprised me. You get a little message on your app saying, so you get a little announcement turn up on your phone, chastising you for buying meat and telling you that you really should be having meat-free Mondays and eating vegetarian meals at home, and how you're killing the planet and you are producing too much carbon. So I thought I'd mention that. I don't know anything more about it than that. Let's mention the word climate change, shall we? Let's see if we can get a little message underneath this video chastising me for talking about it. Climate change. There you go. I said it. Now we can have a little warning about climate change and not eating meat underneath my video, because that always looks pretty, doesn't it? Next thing to talk about is, am I going to weigh in tomorrow? No, I'm not. And the reason I'm not is because a big pillar, I bet he loves that he's a now big pillar of the community, in the carnivore community, Bill Knott in Alaska. He has been watching my video. Probably not every single one, because, you know, there's a lot of channels and he's not going to watch every single one of my video. But if he is here on this particular video, hi Bill, nice to see you. But he did recommend to me not weighing in tomorrow. He said, I think you should really wait until you've got some actual body composition change before you get on the scales. And he's absolutely spot on. So thank you to Bill Knott in Alaska. I'm not weighing in tomorrow. I can't face it. I feel so good and so fantastic, and counting the days is enough for me right now. I'm going to wait a bit longer on that until I actually feel that my clothes are really changing, or I can see a significant change to myself before I do that. Good advice. Also, in my last video, I said I was starting to get a bit scared of weighing in, and someone did say, that's not good for your cortisol. Don't worry about weighing. Perfect advice. So tomorrow there'll be another waffly video about something else I've thought about, but there will not be any weigh-in information on there. And let me pause it while I think of something else I was going to say. Okay, so my final topic of today's waffle session is one of my we've got a lovely member of this community who keeps himself quiet. He doesn't do any. It's George. Just before you get trying to guess who you are, it's George. His channel's called George Good Enough, but he doesn't actually make videos, but he does contribute so much to the community. His support is never ending. He is the guy that's organizing the meetup. So I am super, super happy that George is on my channel giving advice. And yesterday, and today, in fact, I think, well, he's mentioned it a couple of times this week. I was talking about bringing up the carnivore diet conversation to other people. I have brought it up once this week already, and it will come up into conversation moving forwards, especially when I've started to lose significant weight. And he said the way he gets through to people is not to just say the carnivore diet. He says we are part of I am a member of the international carnivore community. And there are tens and thousands of us doing it. And this prevents us from being, in his words, a lonely loon. And it's true. We've got, if we just say, I'm following the carnivore diet, I just eat meat, and that person has never heard of it, their instant reaction is, you're insane, you're a lonely lunatic, can't wait for you to be not talking to me. That's what they're going to think. But if you say that you're part of a huge group of, international carnivore community, and what a community it is, the love I have for this community is off the scale. Best community of people I've ever met in my life, easily. The most chilled, funniest, healthiest, most positive people I've ever met in my life. Incredible, incredible. And we are part of that. I am a part of that international carnivore community. I am part of that global carnivore community. And by saying community, it makes it sound like there's lots of people doing it and people might be a little bit more receptive. So George, you're absolutely right. The next time anyone mentions to me about the way I eat, however it comes up into conversation, or when people start noticing other changes in me, I'm going to tell them that I am in the international carnivore community. I'm not going to say I'm doing that carnivore diet thing where you only eat meat, because the chances of finding someone that's heard about it is still very fringe. I'm very sad to say, really sad to say. It's still such a fringe thing. And it's even more fringe if you're doing lion diet, which I'm going to do at Christmas, by the way. Yes, I've now moved on from the international carnivore community, and I'm now talking about what I'm doing for Christmas. I am going to do lion diet for the 2 weeks I'm off over Christmas. Very excited to be doing that. I am going to dip into my savings somewhere and go out and buy enough steaks to have 4 a day for the whole of that 2 week period. 2 in the morning, 2 at 4 o'clock each day. And on Christmas Day specifically, when the in-laws come round, I won't be taking part in their dinner. I'm not going to have broccoli on my plate just to keep them happy. We will end up having people round, and I'm not going to sit there with gravy and cranberry sauce on my plate just to keep them happy. Never again. Never again am I going to let people cook for me unless I can trust the sauce, and never again am I going to pander to other people's expectations about what I should be eating on any given day. Especially, it's getting very grumpy, isn't it? It's getting grumpy. Especially as I don't approve one little bit of the way that the people come around to my house for Christmas. My husband's parents, very, very sick people. There is nothing I can do for them. They're in their 90s. It's amazing they've made it this far. They're on every medication going. They eat very poorly. but somehow they've managed to scrape their way through to being in their early 90s, but in bad shape, in bad way. They are, everything hurts, trotting around, just frail as anything. Their brains don't work. You know, when you hear someone hitting 90, it is the typical image that we've come to accept now as a community. And I don't approve of the way they eat at all. I don't. Because, and the reason I'm allowed to say that is because they have, you know, when I have eaten just meat before, they have expressed their views that they don't approve of it. So I'm allowed to say, do you know what? I don't approve of the way they're eating. And so I'm not going to start eating that way just to keep them happy and make myself sick. Because what's going to happen if I start eating cranberry sauce and gravy and sprouts Christmas Day? Boxing Day, I'll probably be telling myself a nice little story of how I can eat a mince pie. And then I'll be telling myself a nice little story about how I can probably start bringing cheese back in. And then I'll be telling myself, you know, and so on. And then the secret eating will come back in. Never happening again. Never happening again. And just thinking about that secret eating and how cross it used to make me feel and how humiliated and embarrassed it used to make me feel is enough to keep me on the straight and narrow. I don't want to go back there. And I won't. I literally won't. Done. Done. Day 76. And I am done. Okay. I think that's enough talking. Tomorrow I'll probably have another whole bunch of things to waffle on about. I may even have some different things to put on my head. Because we must keep it light. Keep it jolly. I'm not going to edit this. I am just going to keep it as it was because it, you know, the longer the videos get, the more time it takes up to edit them. So this is just going to go out exactly as I've done it. Hopefully something in there's made sense. Hopefully something was inspiring and something you can relate to. I will see you tomorrow on day 77, which is my 11-week carniversary. You take care and thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow. Love you all. Bye.